What's up, YouTube? Here to do my predictions for Fight Night Henderson versus Dos Anjos. And I'm going to do the whole card this time. I'm going to start from the bottom. First we got Max Holloway versus Clay Collard. I think Max Holloway's opponent got injured again, that's why he's at the bottom. I'll pick Max Holloway. I don't know anything about this Clay guy, but I mean Max Holloway is clearly a top 15 guy. He just needs the wins. I'm gonna pick Max Holloway by TKO. I don't know nothing about this Clay guy. He's just taking this fight on like a week's notice. Wilson Reyes versus Jacob Sanchez. You know Wilson Reyes. He's dropping down to flyweight. I don't know what he's gonna look like. He's a pretty muscular dude, but I gotta pick Wilson just because, you know, he is one of the best fighters in the world at whatever weight class he fights at. He's gonna be top 15. The only thing that I worry about is the weight cut. But if he can make this weight and not gas out, I mean, he could be top 15 at this weight class. Next we got Ben Saunders versus Chris Hurley. I don't know how to say this guy's last name. I'm gonna pick Ben Saunders. I think they're probably gonna want the guys coming back to do good. You know, he was on the Ultimate Fighter. He left. He was in the UFC for a little bit. Left, went to Bellator, won some fights over there. Now he's coming back. I'm gonna pick Ben Saunders by TKO. Next we got Aaron Phillips versus Matt Hobar. I don't know much about either of these guys, but I remember seeing Matt Hobar fight, and I thought he looked pretty good, so I'm gonna pick him. Next we got Benji Durish versus Tony Martin. Benji Durish is the guy. He beat who'd he beat? He beat that one guy. I forget his name. I know he just lost to Ramsey though. I remember that fight. The guy he's fighting, I think, is 0-1 in the UFC, and Benyil Durish is 1-1, and he looked pretty good even though he lost to Ramsey. He looked good in his debut at least. So I'm gonna pick Benji. Next we got Neil Magny versus Alex Garcia. I think Alex Garcia looked really good in both his UFC fights. Neil Magny, I think, you know, I'm not a big fan of Neil Magny. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't think he's very good. I think he gets a lot of hype just because he's Dana White's kind of fighter. He's a guy who can't grapple for shit but likes to strike. That's what Dana White likes. Those are his favorite types of fighters. I think Alex Garcia's got a better, well-rounded game, and he's gonna win by submission. Next we got Chase Skelly versus Tom Ninamaki. I'll pick Ninamaki by decision. I think, you know, even though he lost his last fight by submission, he's still a top prospect at that weight class. Next we got James Vick versus Wilmar Lazaro. All these guys are getting injured, so I don't know all these new guys. I'm gonna pick James Vick. You know, I think these new guys are taking these fights on like 1 week notice. It's hard to pick them because, you know, James Vick, I've seen him fight so many times, and he beats a lot of good guys. Next we got Francis Carmont versus Talis Leites. I think Leites is gonna win. I think Carmont, showing his last couple fights, he has a hard time, you know, once it gets to the ground, he has a hard time really doing anything, and I think Talis is gonna be able to take him down and just hold him there and just beat him up for 3 rounds. So I'm gonna pick Talis by decision. Next we got Mike Pyle versus Jordan Meehan. I think Pyle's gonna win. I think, you know, Jordan's got the edge in striking, but I think Pyle can get it to the ground, and Jordan's been submitted a whole bunch of times, so if this goes to the ground, Pyle's gonna submit him. I think it's just that simple, and it will. Main event, Ben Henderson versus Rafael Dos Anjos. I'll pick Dos Anjos. I think he's, you know, I'm not a fan of Ben Henderson either. I think Ben Henderson has lost a bunch of his fights. I think aside from his last fight, that's the first fight he's won in a while that I actually thought he won, because he won by submission. But I'm looking at his thing right now. The fight against Josh, I thought he lost. The fight against Gilbert, I thought he lost. The fight against Frankie, the second time, I thought he lost. And the fight against Cerrone, the first time they fought, I thought he lost. That's 5 fights right there. His record's 21-3, and it should be like freaking 16-8. You know, he wins all these decisions that, you know, are close, and I wouldn't mind if it happened once or twice, but it happens every single time, and it's just ridiculous. So I'm gonna pick those Anjos. Hopefully, you know, he can win by TK or submission. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe.